It's your birthday today? Well, happy birthday, Champagne Communista. Feels birthday. Feels birthday. Fuck. This is gonna just be this is gonna be torture. Okay. Culturally right-wing parties generally fits my views. Slowly improving society by changing it little by little over time is the best way to run it. A crackdown on pornography is beneficial to society. Weed should be legalized. The legalization of abortion is beneficial. The negatives of rapid reform outweigh its positive. What negatives? The negatives of rapid reform outweighs its positive. Well, what are the negatives? More effort needs to be done to preserve our culture. Tradition holds back societies. Reforming in a quick manner often leads to the worsening of people's lives. I support third and fourth wave feminism. The LGBT movement deserves more respect. Liberalism in modern times has descended into postmodernism. The assumption from Chudge is that moving too quickly will have unintended consequences. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Liberalism in modern times has descended into postmodernism. What's postmodernism? Why is her screen blurry? Yeah. Laissez-faire economy causes monopolies to form and worsen class divide. The phrase, the freer the market, the freer the people is correct, in my opinion. Due to the fact that the action of joining a corporation is voluntary, there isn't true oppression within corporations. Economic regulation reduces the positive benefits of capitalism. The majority of the rich deserve their property and money. The gain of corporations directly correlates to the gain of the individual. We should have a minimal government alongside a fully functional market. It is necessary for the government to intervene in the economy to protect its consumers. Oppression by corporations is more of a concern than oppression by governments. I mean, I don't even know if that's necessarily true either, but I don't know if it's more of a concern. I think it's equally a concern. I don't know, chat. You think it is? You think it's more of a concern? Maybe right now. The questions are set up. Okay. We need to have more welfare compared to what we have currently. We should increase taxes in exchange for better welfare. Was my voice on? We should increase taxes in exchange for better welfare. Well, taxes on the rich. Close eyes and click. Heavily dependent on the area. True. Insurance should be used by the individual voluntarily rather than welfare. Insurance. Everyone should have free quality healthcare. A regulation-free economy does not work practically. Individualism is what powers society, and we should embrace it. A strong government is required for a safe society. A good leader should have the ability to pass on the throne to their family members. Anarchism is not a workable concept practically. Fuck it. I'm gonna go with strongly disagree. The leader should be passed on genetically. What do you mean the leader should be passed on genetically? I mean, anarchism is about dismantling unjust hierarchies. Monarchy. Oh, the leader should be passed on genetic. This is a monarchy question. I don't know. I was thinking like, I wasn't thinking in governmental terms. I was thinking in business terms. Power to the individual, which is beneficial to a federal state gives more power to the individual, which is beneficial to the nation. Some of us wacky anarchists question all hierarchy. I mean, is this like in theory? Because you can have more statewide powers, right? Take cannabis, right? Cannabis is not federally legalized, but depending on your state, you do have the right to smoke it, which gives you more power that is imposed at the state level. I am thoroughly confused by this question. Is this assuming that a federal state has the propensity to give more power if they wanted to, which is beneficial to the nation? Fuck it, I'm just gonna say agree. Stronger governments increases the risk of tyranny, which makes a nation very unstable. Stronger governments increases the risk of tyranny, which makes the nation unstable. Strong governments do not have the same. There's no shame in clicking unsure. I mean, I will click unsure whenever I feel it's necessary. I would rather have a totalitarian government than an anarchist one. What the fuck? I would rather have a totalitarian government than an anarchist one? No! I mean, this strongly... Democratic systems ultimately turn into a two-party system, which is not beneficial for everyone. This is not even true. Democratic systems ultimately turn into a two-party system, which is not beneficial for everyone. The reason why we have a two-party system is because our constitution says so. That is not because of... That's not because of any given principle of democracy that has evolved into a two-party system. First past the post. What are you filling out? I love how Amy just strongly everything. I know, because I'm fucking hardcore like that. Yeah, first past the post. Okay. And she's gonna come out and cap, isn't she? But that's not necessarily inherent to a democratic system. That's because of a specific policy that is put into place. First past the post was a constitutionally backed law that is more so a prerequisite, you know, that has led to the formation of our two-party system, but it's not like inherently or innately democratic, right? A two-party, I don't see the innate correlation between democracy and a two-party system. Fine, I'll just disagree. I would rather have a constitutional monarchy than an absolute monarchy. What the fuck? What the fuck? I would rather have no fucking monarchy at all. You're correct to strongly disagree. I'm just going neutral. I mean, I don't know. But corgis. But corgis. I don't know what the right kind of... I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know how to best answer that question because I don't want either. I don't want a monarchy. The rule of a selfless dictator is ideal for me. Selfless dictator sounds pretty good. Say no to Queen Amy? I reject the premise. Thank you. Rips with thank you for the 100 biddies. What is there to be fearful of? What is there to be fearful of with a selfless dictator? 2024? Only if it's me? Imagine dictator Bernie, how would that be bad? There's no such thing. Yeah, I'm gonna put neutral, unsure. I would rather choose democracy over dictatorship. I mean, obviously. My nation's ideals are better than most other nations' ideals. Fucking no. Rather than spreading our ideals. I can't believe I'm only like halfway through. I'm gonna have to go get some, you know what, chat. All right. Rather than brought Amy's my new theory queen. Me? Rather than spreading our ideals, we should primarily work on peace and particularism. The fuck is this? I hate this. I'm really sick of the internet owning me with all of these fucking wet ass P words. While I'm trying to eat my chili mango, no less. Rude. Rude. I love this. I love this. Because as I'm taking a moment, don't, Monboon, don't be that mean. That's so fucking cruel and unusual. Peppy is a P word? Peppy's a good P word. Where's Peppy? I don't see Peppy. Wait. Peppy? Oh my god. Where's Peppy? What the fuck? Hold on. Peppy! Peppy's not here. Oh, thank God. I found Peppy. You might be thinking, wait, Peppy? Who's Peppy? Peppy is just my stress ball that I misplaced. And yeah, I called out like it was a lost puppy. Whatever. It's fine. Peppy is back, everyone. Peppy is fine. Thanks, Peppy, for not running away. Anyway. Someday we might be able to live without any control because humans will be disciplined unto themselves. Oh God, not the Shiloh stuff too. God, it's all angles. Why is it all angles tonight? I totally misunderstood that. No, it's okay. Chat. I can only stand a certain percentage. Hold on. Rude. Rude. I can only stand. There's only so much Twitch harassment I can stand from other male content creators in one day. It's too much. This quiz fucking sucks. You got technocracy? You're a technocrat. Okay. So let's talk about what this means. Rather than spreading our ideals, we should primarily work on peace and this wet ass P word. It's almost as if you can read between the lines and you can take a very popular instance of civil unrest and you can apply it to what this statement could be referring to, right? So let's take, I don't know, the Black Lives Matter movement. Let's take BLM. Let's take the Black Lives Matter movement and plug this in and see how it works. Rather than spreading our ideals, which in this case would be fighting on the streets to end police brutality and all forms of systemic racism, we should primarily work on peace, which would just be shutting the Black Lives Matter protests down, looking to ensure peace on the streets, which means no fundamental changes, while police have the opportunity to continue to kill extrajudiciously because there is a vested interest or a concerted effort, rather, to shut down any type of civil unrest or any instance of civil unrest that could lead to some sort of paradigm shift or could lead to the promise of addressing social injustices, leading to real progressive change or equitable outcomes. I just got lost in the sauce. Midway. That was a good one. Good one. I love whenever I get lost in the sauce midway. So, you know, you have to kind of read between the lines here. You have to read between the lines here, rather than spreading our ideals, which could be likened to the Black Lives Matter movement, spreading our ideals, fighting for peace, and fighting for fighting for social justice, and being shut down by liberals, no less, who are calling to peacefully protest, to stop marching on the street, to stop marching on the streets and demanding that police be held accountable for their action, to call for complete police reform, to call for the end of systemic racism altogether. I think that this might be kind of what this statement is most likely referring to in theory. Countries with authoritarian regimes should be invaded in order to give people overseas liberty and freedom. Countries with a lot of oil reserves, with a lot of oil reserves that the United States wants access to, should be ours for the taking, right? They're ripe for the picking. Countries with authoritarian regimes are ripe for the picking if they do have some sort of natural resource that the US wants or can capitalize off of, and can call this invasion an operation to democratize an entire region. Ripe for the P word. All right? Like literally Operation Iraqi Freedom. Like, this is what they're talking about, right? This is like the justification of Operation Iraqi Freedom. Like, this is where they're getting their questions from real life occurrences. Yeah, the last question was totally suggesting colonialism. Countries with authoritarian regimes should be evaded in order to give people strongly disagree. International alliances are generally beneficial. I mean, like, a blanket statement like that sounds good. How else are we going to achieve world peace if we don't have international alliances or, you know, some sort of agreement or coalition? If it's some bullshit liberation from military industrial complex, then no, true. I mean, France and Germany haven't gone to war with each other in a while. That's probably good. That's the whole thing we don't know. All right, last chili mango. Last chili mango, yeah, Kappa. Fuck it, I'm putting neutral on shore. Again, we should focus more on issues outside of our nation. This is so unfair because we should focus on issues outside of our nation when it comes to addressing climate change that will most likely impact the global south first, or it 100% will. We should be focusing on issues to help decolonialize different regions of Africa, if they want us to. We should focus more on issues to call for the end of exploitation in the global south. Sorry. We should focus on issues like stopping the exploitation of workers in the global south that we outsource our goods and services to at a cheap price. We should focus on these issues. May I ask what I'm munching on? Chili mango. I don't have COVID. I'm eating chili mango, and it's a real spicy piece. I don't know what that is, but I too use old pickle jars for my water. I have so many big jars that I drink water out of. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Is Operation Chili Mango a go? Yes. Damn, Amy. Thank you so much for noticing, SimZaddy. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Having too much immigration leads to economic decline and ideological radicalization. What does this even mean? Having too much immigrants leads to economic decline and ideological radicalization. Well, this is like part of like the great replacement bullshit that they worry about ideological radicalization in an otherwise heterogeneous country. All bullshit. That sounds like a statement and not a question. It is a statement. The format of this test is laid out in declarative statements that you either agree with or don't. Sorry, I'm not reading this. Theocracy brings many benefits. Religion is just fiction for humans to develop. Religion should play a much smaller role compared to the present. Churches should be taxed, like most other organizations. Theocracy often leads to corruption, and distortion of religion. The recent increase of depression is caused by the rise of secularism and atheism. Religious organizations often provide better help for the underprivileged compared to secular nonprofits. What are you talking about? Why are you saying not like this? Big Kappa? The recent increase of depression is caused by rise of secularism and atheism, and I said strongly disagree. What are y'all losing your mind over? Rapid technological advancement causes more harm than good. Well, rapid technological advancement will lead to job displacement, and without a robust welfare state to help people maintain their current material conditions and ensure the bare necessities, they could be at risk of the worst possible outcome, and that is homelessness. So rapid technological advancements does have its disadvantages whenever you think about the prospect of displacement, mass displacement of the workforce. Lurker checking in. Hi, Willowing Weaver. How are you doing? This conversation is too advanced for me. I'm out. Benjamin P. Dixon, thank you so much for the raid, Ben. Thank you. Hi, Raiders. How are you doing? Welcome. If you're meeting me for the first time, hi, my name is Amy C3. We're having a little bit of fun here over in this community. We are taking the Right Values quiz. I, of course, am a leftist, so we're having a little bit of fun memeing on this quiz, trying to get some laughs in. Thank you so much again, Ben, for the raid. I hope you had a fantastic stream, and welcome, Raiders. Get cozy. If you want to help us fill out this quiz, you're more than welcome. Your feedback is always appreciated. And we are currently on question 58 of 73, so we have a few more questions. Can't wait to see these results. Cannot wait. And thank you all so much for the follows as well. Benjamin Dixon says, hi, Ben. Thank you so much again for the raid. Really appreciate it. It depends on how they define rapid. Right, so the question that we are breaking down right now is that rapid technological advancement causes more harm than good. And so the one point of contention that I have with technological advancement and automation in particular that could lead to massive numbers of displaced workers, right? That could be a detriment to their own material conditions if they do experience a grave loss in income and they are not able to get back into the workforce without robust safety nets in place, curated by a more robust welfare state. There is a likely possibility that they will experience a massive shift in their own socioeconomic status without providing bare necessities, right? Like basic income, and universal programming, like housing guarantees, healthcare guarantees, food guarantees, then I am incredibly reluctant to be in favor of any
rapid technological advancement like automation that will lead to massive displacement in the workforce, right? So again, I don't know how to necessarily answer this, because in some cases, rapid technological advancement would be incredibly good. If we're talking about, stem cell research, if we're talking about more innovation or technology in the healthcare field that could help save people's lives, cures to cancer, nobody would be not in favor of this kind of advancement. Advancement to make a swift transition to green energy infrastructure. Of course, that is absolutely something that we look forward to, right? Yes, energy technology, exactly. So renewable energy technology in particular, that's a big one as well. It might be the biggest. So definitely don't know how to answer this question, because there are pros and cons to seeing these technological advancements. Simp Daddy Kane, thank you so much for gifting 5 tier 1 gift subbies in this community. Thank you so much. Have I stretched my legs? Young Andrew, thank you so much for gifting a tier 1 subs to Sev's Dev. Thank you so much. We have 314 viewers. Nice. Okay. I want to say overall that I disagree. At the current moment, we know the androids and who they are. Rapid is bad since there isn't proper testing. Yeah, I'm gonna... Life before the Industrial Revolution was much better. Oh my god, it's Return to Monka. It's a Return to Monka meme, for real. Like, really. I'm new here. Oh, thank you so much. If you're hanging around after the bin raid, thank you all so much. I disagree a bit too. Yeah, it's kind of a slippery slope, because you want to say that there would be more good than bad when it comes to our new age of advanced technology and Prim's in, but still there are a multitude of factors that we could consider, right? That makes it a little bit more risky to choose one absolute position. So I'm going to go ahead and keep my neutral/unsure response for the last question. And moving on to this question, strongly disagrees, feels far too sure about it. And Prims, how do you feel right now? How do you feel? Are you excited that you're getting a little bit of acknowledgement? Life before the Industrial Revolution was much better. Hunter-gatherers arguably had better diets and less disease. What was the average life, though? What was the average life expectancy for an individual living during the hunter-gatherer era? Young Andrew, thank you so much for gifting a tier 1 sub to Acid Summer. Thank you. Very short. Life expectancy was lowered due to infant mortality. Make ton of babies and hope some of them make it after 10. Okay, I want to say disagree. Life is getting too complicated and we should take a step back. Life is getting too complicated and we should take a step back. Where? Thank you so much, Simp Daddy Kane, for the tier 1 gift subbies. Industrial, more pollution though. But again, it just goes back to, hold on for a minute. You're right. You are right. More pollution. But again, if we had that rapid advancement in technology that was helping us progress to green energy and sustainable energy solutions to address our CO2 emissions and our huge carbon footprint, it wouldn't seem so bad. But again, this is all like, we're in a pipe dream right now. We're living in a pipe dream right now. Amy answering these questions like it's the SAT. I take this very seriously, okay? But the rich people don't want that. Of course they don't want that. The rich don't want to have to give up any of their wealth. The rich love that they benefit from a broken socioeconomic hierarchy that by default places them and their descendants into a higher class by default, because the wealth gap has been so widened that as long as there is no fundamental shift in our taxation policy, they will always have an upper hand. Not in perpetuity, but for the time being. And that's all that matters. So yes, of course, anybody who has the ability to benefit from their current socioeconomic position in this social hierarchy that we have, they will be in favor of maintaining their wealth, especially those at the top or upper crust of that socioeconomic ladder. Agreeing with this means reactionary for the test, I think. Well, the whole thing is that anybody who is politically active or engaged in the political process, whether that be because you're a leftist and you believe in the principles of organizing, community-led efforts, mutual aid, being a participant in mutual aid or any community building coalition, right? Then you might think that life is getting complicated, but instead of stepping back, you have to lean in and you have to become a part of your community and you have to step up and be a leader and you have to become an organizer and you have to make the most of this time where we are seeing the ramifications of a very complicated life, but it's not the time to step back and give up. It's a time to get involved and try to pave the way in participating in whatever grassroots-led effort or whatever community-based efforts that will try to address the grievances or the injustices or the complications that we're seeing, if only at the smallest level, the community level. We have to do our part. So, I'm going to strongly disagree. Well, we got another technological. Okay. We should accelerate our technological progress. All right. Pop-Tarts? We should accelerate our technological progress. Oh, again, because we talked about the ramifications. Ramifications, but we need to accelerate our technological progress when it comes to green energy standards and making a clean and smooth transition from fossil fuel to renewable energy. Neutral? Again, it's the same question, just worded, just a little different. Damn it, Bobby 420. You think strongly agree? I don't know about that. Yes, but make NASA do it? If we don't, then we die. But it's only if we accelerate our technological process when it comes to transitioning from fossil fuel to green or renewable energy, right? We still have to worry about, and that, of course, is going to be the best way to ensure that we have a functioning jobs program where we don't see mass displacement. Bigger nukes? Depends on what type of tech. Robots going to take over the world, but that's my own phobia. Siskiyou Cat, thank you so much for subscribing tier 1. Thank you so much. Hey, we got a naturally occurring subby in the wild. Love to see it. Again, I'm gonna go with neutral and sure because there are too many working parts of this argument that I would need to consider, and I do not have the time. Rather than trying to restrict factories, we should let technology advance and find an easier solution in the future. Rather than, what? So this plays directly into my fear of automation that will displace workers in the factories, in industrial work in particular. We have to achieve nuclear fission and achieve fully automated luxury space communism tomorrow. I mean, agree. Teach workers how to... Oh. What's going on, TBS? My cashier is a computer now? Streaming is your job? Streaming is one of my jobs. I have a couple jobs right now. I do streaming full-time, so I stream more than 40 hours a week. So I guess that's considered full-time, but it's not my only source of income. I also still work my regular job. I'm in the private sector. I do a little bit of planning work. I do site plan analysis, where I focus on providing existing condition reports and basic dimensions of possible projects that we have to work with before we start a project. It's just a matter of getting that initial assessment for an individual property ready so that we can provide this to our potential clients, the prospects, during the initial meeting and say, hey, we put this together for you. It just kind of gives us an upper hand to show that we are kind of ready to take the next step in a project. So I am in parts a capitalist shill still. I am forced to participate in capitalism. Amy works for a developer. No, I work for a construction and a landscape architecture / landscaping firm. So maybe one day my company will move to full-blown development. And then I also do YouTube, which isn't paying the bills necessarily at all, but working on another project. Are you an architect? No, I have a formal education in planning, a community planning with an emphasis on physical planning and design. So I'm more of I have more expertise in physical planning than architecture. I guess you could, if you want to, the way that I try to explain it for my community is that it's somewhere in between civil engineering and an architecture degree of physical planning and design, but it's only taken the most basic components of either field, kind of merging it together, and that's what I do. Or that's what I have, that's what my education is in. So you don't like math? I don't do a lot of math. It's not that I don't like it. You are rich? Oh, no, I'm not rich at all. The whole reason why I continue to work is because I have not reached that self-sustainable status of streaming full-time without being able to let my job go, without letting go of my job. Stats is math? Yeah, I don't do stats in my regular job. So you're aware of the reputation landscape art firms have? Yes. Yes. Some would say that it's completely it's irrelevant, it's unnecessary. It also is playing a crucial role in it's silly. It's kind of silly that you will see homeowners dole out a lot of money to keep their grasses green, or to completely furnish their front yards with like every kind of plant imaginable that comes at a pretty hefty price. It's for aesthetic purposes. Sometimes you have to have a specific kind of aesthetic because of your homeowner association rules and regulations, but I digress. Let's get back to the quiz. Sure. Rather than trying to restrict factories, we should let technology advance and find an easier solution in the future. We have to do something now. You can regulate factories into paying carbon taxes while doing R&D at the same time. I don't know what restrict factories means. Some of these questions are so incredibly worded, but they're so ambiguously worded, but then they're also incredibly loaded. Like, it's a loaded question with ambiguous terms. And it means pro free market, anti-regulation. Right. You can read between the lines that much. It means let's pollute. So obviously this is where we're at a crossroads, right? Because absolutely not are we in favor of polluting, and absolutely not are we in favor of unfettered capitalism. I think restrict means provide trade-offs to retain jobs, like tax cuts, subsidies. I'm in a bind. Yeah, anytime I'm in a bind, I just hit unsure. Decelerating our society could mean a harder life, but overall it's worth it, considering the happiness deceleration would bring. Happiness for who? It's stupid. This question, yeah, it's all that everything. All of these are just so incredibly. Amy, what the fuck are you reading? What do you mean? It means, do you want to work less than 40 hours per week? What? No way. Are you sure? It is a false dichotomy, as Jay pointed out, because this is not the only two outcome. There are more possible outcomes to deceleration in our society than this question suggests. All of these questions are horrible. Decelerating means doing what conservatives want. Okay. Transhumanism lets us overcome challenges of our human body, which is necessary for humanity to progress further. I guess that's what the chips are for. Deceleration would be any sort of progress. It would be any kind of progress or sophistication that we are to see in a developed world, right? In a developed world, that includes social progress, in my opinion. That's any form of progress. Yeah, that. Transhumanism is a bad thing? I could use a brain stimulant chip. Same. ADA rights question. Hell yeah to transhumanism, but it's not necessary. This was 100% written by a transhuman. Alright. Cure blindness with a chip in the brain sounds dope. Okay, that does sound dope, let's be honest. Artificial eyes sounds dope. Artificial eyes do sound dope. From what I heard, the disability community hates transhumanism. They find it scary. Cheney has an artificial heart. I doubt he's complaining about it. Oh, my suit. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put disagree. The more we accelerate, the more risks there are. We should aim for a simpler life which brings us happiness. Race is the ultimate difference between humans. Wait. We should aim for a simpler life which brings us happiness. Again, like... No. I guess I was thinking... I don't know. No, I'm gonna say disagree. Because I disagree with the statement. I disagree with the statement that a more simpler life will automatically lead to happiness. And I am disagreeing with the premise of this statement. And from this moment forward, I'm just going to disagree with either the logic or the outright sentiment. I already eating more chili mango. You just answered you want 3 jobs. I don't think so. Race is the ultimate difference between humans? Oh, for fuck's sake. Ethnic nationalism is a dangerous ideology. We should judge people by their character rather than their race. Do I really have to fucking answer this? The Nazi regime of Germany has taught us to not judge anybody but... What kind of Nazi propaganda is this? Where did this quiz come from? It's the RightValues test. You mean like after the fact? Because I was like, yeah, like the major fucking takeaway. Like the lesson learned. Yes, I think they're referring to after the fact. Okay. I guess. Unrest within certain regions of Africa is mainly caused by racial difference. I thought it was political reasons. Colonialism? This is objectively false. Some colonization, yeah. Unrest in Africa is very complex. Yeah. Racism will always exist within society, so there's no point to try to fix racism. Affirmative action should not be considered racism. Affirmative action is not considered racism. What is this question? Wait a minute. Chuds think so? Chuds think that affirmative action racist against white. They think affirmative action strongly agree it's not racism. Chuds think it's racist against white people. Scroll down. Okay. Closest match. Technocracy. Technocracy is an ideology that promotes the idea people who are experts of technology should rule the nation. You can send these results by copying and pasting your closest matches. Georgism. Georges think that land should be publicly owned. I do. They believe that if a person uses land, they should pay a land tax, which would replace all other taxes. Geo-libertarianism. Geo-libertarians are Georges with libertarian values. Georgism is an economic system where land is not considered private property but is taxed and publicly owned. Go on. Neoliberalism. Neoliberalism is a free market-oriented form of ideology which is usually culturally left-leaning. Reducing state influence is also a big part of the ideology. Center-right politics. Alright, this is making me sick. Ego-fascism? In the